Good evening. It's time to grab a cup of tea and let's talk about Lorcana and my first experience at an international Disney Lorcana challenge, or DLC for short. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This channel is all about casual Lorcana fun, and DLCs are only for really competitive players. But I beg to differ. I think Disney Lorcana challenges are open to all players, casual players, competitive players, and collectors. Ghent 2026 was my first international DLC, although I was lucky enough to attend my first ever DLC in Birmingham 2024 here in the UK. If you had asked me 3 years ago whether I would have travelled abroad to play a card game in an international competition, I would never have believed you, and I didn't think events like this were aimed at someone like me. I actually started my Lorcana journey because of my love for Disney and a renewed interest in collecting Pokemon cards. When I first discovered Lorcana, I was mainly excited about opening packs to see what fun cards I would pull. I was chasing the shiny cardboard and pretty artwork. Now, 2 years later, I've just come home from my first international Lorcana Challenge event and I absolutely loved it. And honestly, I think you should go to one too. Why? Because it's so much more than just a competitive event. For me, it was a chance to spend time with friends I'd met through our local game store, explore a new city, enjoy some Disney fun, and collect some exclusive cards. I did enter as a competitor to the main event. The ticket cost about £75, but one of my friends attended as an attendee, which was a cheaper ticket for around £20, and it gave them full access all weekend to the venue. Even without playing in the competition, there was still plenty for them to do. Early check-in and exploring Ghent. We were lucky enough to arrive in Ghent a day early, which meant we could do early check-in and also spend some time exploring the city before the event began. Ghent turned out to be a fantastic location for a DLC. It felt very welcoming, and there were plenty of hotels and Airbnbs within easy travel distance of the venue, Flanders Expo. To get around, we mostly used the trams, which were direct and very affordable, about €3 per journey. Since we arrived early, we spent the first day soaking up some history and culture. We visited churches, explored the castle, took a canal boat tour, and even did a VR experience about the history of the famous Ghent Lamb of God painting. There was also a city pass for around €48, which gave us access to museums and unlimited tram travel for 72 hours, which worked perfectly for our trip. That evening, we went to early check-in, and if you're planning to attend a DLC, I really recommend doing this if you can. It meant we avoided the huge queues on the morning of day one and could just walk straight in. The process itself was really smooth. There were lots of staff, and we were in and out in about 20 minutes, and that was without Premier Pass, which made the whole thing feel relaxed and well organised. At the registration, we received a Lorcana lanyard, an entry pass based on our ticket type. I received a Pegasus participation promo for the main event for being a competitor, and we each received 120 DLC ticks. These ticks are basically prize tickets that you can collect throughout the weekend and trade in at the prize wall for the exclusive cards and merchandise. Honestly, this was one of the things I was most excited about because, of course, who doesn't love shiny exclusive cards? And the Pegasus card is really beautiful. For the early check-in promo, we each received a Flotsam and Jetsam, which was from an earlier set. Personally, I had hoped it might be the newer Winterspell Stitch promo, but it seems that the DLCs sometimes use older promos for these giveaways. So if you are attending a DLC, it's probably best not to assume you'll always get the newest promo card. Day 1, side events and activities. On day 1, we arrived right when the event opened at 9 a.m, so we could make the most of the day and also get a feel for how busy everything might be before the main event the next day. It was definitely worth doing because the trams and nearby coffee shops were very busy in the mornings, and we were also really glad we had done the early check-in because we were able to walk straight past the huge registration queue outside. After grabbing a coffee from the venue cafe, we started exploring the side events and activities. Fanfinity had organised a really good variety of things to do throughout the day, and I was especially happy that not everything was behind a paywall. That's another reason I'd recommend attending a DLC, even if you're a casual player. There's still plenty to enjoy. One of my favourite parts of the event was getting cards signed by the artists. At the Ghent DLC, the artists included Oggy Christiansen, Domenico Russo, and Mariana Moreno. Sorry if I've mispronounced those names. You could queue for each artist and get up to 2 cards signed at each time. You also had a chance to chat briefly with them, which made the experience feel really personal. They also offered small posters featuring their artwork that they could sign as well. The queues did take quite a while, and occasionally premium pass holders were allowed to move ahead, which could be a little frustrating when you thought you were next. But overall, it was still a really fun experience, and I got several of my favourite cards signed, including cards from 101 Dalmatians, Fox and the Hound, Pocahontas, and even a Minnie Mouse. There were also a couple of game designers at the event, including Steve Warner, who were testing a new version of Pack Rush, which they dubbed Pack Rush Lite. This was a great opportunity to meet some of the designers and try a slightly different version of the game. There was also a free photo booth where you could choose from 3 different Lorcana themed borders, and you received a printed photo and could also scan a QR code to download a digital version. It was really well organised, and surprisingly there often wasn't much of a queue. In the centre of the hall, there were tables set up for the Lorcana puzzles and for playing Palace Heist. Both of these were free activities and were a really nice way to relax and meet other Illumineers. Taking part also earned you stamps in your lore book, and once you collected 5 out of the 8 stamps, you could trade it in for a random promo card. Again, these were mostly older promos, which was a little disappointing, but the activities themselves were really interesting and fun. Another activity we joined was badge trading. You were given 6 badges of the same ink colour, and the goal was to trade with other players until you had 1 of each colour. Once you had completed the set, you received another lorebook stamp, and this ended up being one of my favourite activities. It was really social, and the badges also made a great souvenir. Later we signed up for the collection quest. I initially thought this would be free, but it actually cost around £25. However, you did receive 4 booster packs, so it felt like reasonable value. I was especially excited about this activity because I had seen similar events being run at Disney parks. When I opened my packs, I actually pulled an Enchanted card, which was amazing. However, we quickly realised there was a small flaw in how the game worked. Each player received 4 packs and a poster listing 6 cards that needed to be collected. But it turned out there were only 2 different posters, meaning everyone was searching for the same 12 cards. Very quickly, we realised there simply weren't enough cards in circulation to trade properly, so instead, our group pulled together the cards that we had opened and built a single completed set. Then we took it in turns handing in the poster to receive the stamp. It still worked out in the end, but it would have been much more fun if everyone had been searching for different cards, and it would have really encouraged that trading aspect, which would have been more fun. Day 2, the main event. Day 2 was the main competition, which meant another early start. My goal for the event was simple: win 5 rounds and earn that Mulan promo card, which was easily my favourite card from the challenge event. The tournament had around 2,000 players and consisted of 8 rounds, with the goal of making Day 2 on the Sunday. Despite being competitive, the atmosphere was still really welcoming. I met players whose entire families were also competing, as well as plenty of people who were just there to enjoy the games. My friends and I also decided to cosplay as our favourite Disney characters, which made the day even more fun, and it even got us featured in a few Lorcana videos. The day was quite long, so I definitely recommend bringing snacks and drinks, because it can be hard to find time between rounds to grab food. After a full day of matches, I managed to win 5 rounds, which meant the Mulan card was mine. Even better, 2 of my friends I travelled with also hit 5 wins, so it ended up being a great day for all of us. Day 3, Pack Rush and the Prize War. Sunday was much more relaxed. We arrived a bit later after going out for breakfast and went to collect our Mulan cards from the previous day. And it wasn't entirely clear where we needed to go for this, so we had to check a few places before finding the right desk. This communication could definitely be something that could be improved on for future events. After that, we joined some Pack Rush events, which is one of my favourite Lorcana formats. These were on-demand events that you could purchase through your phone and then head to the designated area to play. The system worked really smoothly and felt very stress-free. Pack Rushes cost around £15 for 2 packs, and these were winter spell packs, which was fantastic, and unbelievably, I pulled another Enchanted card. Each Pack Rush event had 3 rounds, and if you won your games, you also earned ticks for the prize wall. By the end of the weekend, I had around 400 ticks, which I traded in for an exclusive Elsa Challenge pin, a Let It Go promo card, and a pack of Return of Jafar. A quick tip if you attend a DLC, try to visit the prize wall early because by the end of the day, there was a very long queue and many of the newer sets had already sold out. To finish the weekend, I spent some time browsing the vendor stalls, looking for Enchanted cards for my collection. Some stalls had already sold out of things like the Lorcana lore books I was hoping to find. I managed to pick up some great Enchanted cards, including my Treasure Planet and Atlantis chase cards from earlier sets. We then sat down to watch some of the final matches, soaking in the atmosphere and enjoying the end of a fantastic weekend with fellow Disney and Lorcana fans. And this was the amazing haul of things I managed to bring home. Overall, the weekend was incredibly fun, and I really do think there's something for everyone at a DLC. Even if you're not interested in the competitive side, you can grab an attendee ticket, play Pack Rush, collect ticks for exclusive cards, meet artists, shop for cards, cosplay with friends, and explore a new city. I hope you enjoyed my chat about my first International Disney Lorcana Challenge event. Maybe this encourages you to give it a go as well. Please be nice in the comments and let me know what you would want to do at a DLC, and I hope you get your chase card for your collections. Goodbye.